Welcome back to 3D modeling. Today we're making a grenade. So first thing you're going to do is click on generic model and create a new model. Once again, just name it as whatever you want and press confirm. You can change the texture size to whatever you want to fit how much detail you want to have later. But for mine, I'm just going to keep it as 16 by 16 pixels. So first thing I'm going to do is add a reference image. So now you can't see, I'm selecting a file of this grenade. So I'm just going to add to this project, and you can see it is in the background. Now you can just rotate it and scale it to however you like. You can put it in the front or the back of the model. You can just keep adjusting it until it fits to your liking. Now that I'm done, you want to click add mesh and add a sphere. Click confirm, and now you just have to I'm going to first put my reference image behind the model. And now you can just move, scale, and rotate the sphere. Actually, no, don't rotate it, but move and scale it until it matches the base of the grenade. Once that's done, you can select the vertex, and now zoom in and pick the vertex at the very top. Then you should just zoom back out so you can see everything. And now pull it up until you can see it aligns with the yellow part of the grenade. Now you want to select all the top edges of that little spike you just made. Then we're going to use a loop cut, and it's kind of like this made one of the sides of the sphere. Just keep changing the direction until you can see the top part is not selected. This means you've cut it, and now you can also move the loop cut higher and lower if you want to change that. But I'm just going to leave it as normal and delete the top sides. Now you're going to want to go to edit and press mirror modeling. This makes all your changes reflect to the other side. Now select one of the faces and press extrude selection. This should make it pop out. Now just repeat this for all sides except for the top part. Now that's done, you can add a mesh and make it a cuboid. Just press confirm and move it up. Right now we're making the top part of the grenade. Just scale that and move it down until it fits. You can also make it a bit diagonal on the side there. I also added a bit of a bump on the side. You can just add that by merging another cuboid. Now add another cuboid, and this will be the strap. Make it completely flat, and just rotate it, move it once again. Just make it just half of the strap because we're going to duplicate it and put another one later. So once you finish the top half, you can just duplicate that. You can also move the pivot point to make rotating easier. And now once that's done, you can also select both of them and merge the meshes. Now we're almost done with the model. Just add a mesh and set as a plane. You could also just make it a flat cuboid, it doesn't really matter. Just rotate that and scale it until it fits the area of the pin. You'll erase some of the pixels later, so don't worry about making it perfect. Once you have that in place, duplicate it and rotate it 90 degrees. This is so that you can still see the pin if you're looking from the top. But we just want this to be the stick part of the pin, so make it shorter. Once everything's done, you can just select all of that and create a new texture. Call it whatever you want. Just leave everything as usual because you already chose the pixel density before. And now everything should already be automatically mapped to the model. Now you can, once you think everything is ready, you just hop over to that paint tab and start applying paint. I recommend that you pick some of the colors from the reference image. By the way, make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video and you find this helpful. Now we're done with texturing. This means that we're fully finished with making the model. Also, to make this background like this, you just go to View, Preview Scene, and you can choose any of these options. Just know that if you choose one of the Minecraft ones, it will appear on a floating island. The next step we have to do before we work on our animation is to make sure that we layer the objects like so and put them in folders. You can do that by pressing the folder button at the top. You can see some of the folders are inside of other folders. Once that is done, you can go to the Animate tab, and as you can see, each of the folders move separately, and if folders are inside of other folders, when moving the bigger folder, that also moves small folders. Here you can also change the pivot points to be better for animating. Next, go to the plus button and name your animation. You can set to play once or hold on to the last frame, or you can make it loop. I recommend just setting it as playing once or to hold on to the last frame. Now, as you can see, each time if you click one of the folders, at the bottom it shows as a frame when you move it. Now, each one of those dots is a frame, which means that it will move to that position when it gets to that time. So once you've adjusted your first frame, you can just move that line at the bottom to where the next frame will be, and then you can just move the objects accordingly. You can either move, rotate, or scale for these frames. Anyways, once you set both of your frames, you can press that play button and it'll move between those two frames. Now if you select these frames, you can see on the side there's a keyframe option where the default is linear. You can also move the frames to just adjust until they look good. Now there are three types of keyframes. The first one is linear. This is when the object moves at a constant speed between frames without increasing in speed or slowing down. The second type is smooth, where it speeds up as it goes in and out and slows down in the middle. And finally, the last type is step, where it just jumps between the two frames. This can be useful if you want something more like pixel art. Now once you've configured that all, you can just select all your frames and just set it to whatever you want. I'm going to choose to leave mine at smooth. But now you can just repeat adding the frames and you have an animation. At one part in the animation, I tried to make the object quickly move between two frames so that it looks like there's some sort of force when pulling the pin out. That didn't really turn out looking well, so I'd recommend you don't try that. Also, if you right click, there are some templates that you can use. So for example, if you want the pin to disappear after it's pulled, that's one of the options. Another thing I want to add is an explosion. So to add this, you just go to add group and then just name it explosion or something. And then just right click that group and add a locator inside of it, like so. This locator is where the explosion particles will appear. So I'm just going to move that to where I want. And to add it, you just have to press one of the buttons above in the timeline section to see the effects thing. And then press add a particle where once you've put the line somewhere you want. And then you could just, for the effect, you first select the particle itself and you select the picture that you have for the particle. And you can also add the locator that you just made. I'll make a full tutorial next time for how to make particle effects, but right now you can just go in the description and you'll be able to find the one that I made. Doing the same thing, you can also add sound effects, but this is just for preview, because later you'll have to add them again, as the only way to export is through GIF. Anyways, once you are done making the entire animation, of course you should test it a few times by pressing play. Once you are ready, just don't to export. Go to View, and then export as a GIF, similar to last time. Like this. You can keep it in the animate tab. I don't know if that changed anything though, but you can just choose the same settings just like you did last time. And I recommend you set a resolution. That way you can make it kind of full screen. Also here, while recording, at the end I accidentally press X. Make sure you press the red dot instead of X, otherwise it won't save properly. Anyways, if you've done that properly, it should say processing GIF at the bottom. And once you have that, you can go to a website like FreeConvert, and you should have the GIF. Put the GIF in here as a file, and you can convert it as an MP4. I'll have a link to this website in the description. So now you can just go to download and save it to your device. Now that's done, but you still have one more issue. There's no sound. So go to an editing website. Here I have CapCut, and just add in all the sound files that you want to put in. So now I'm just dragging them in. You can see, like that. And once you're done, just press export. Of course you have to sign in first. Just do that. And once you've done that, just press export again, do a download. It says 1080p or whatever resolution you want. It says high quality. And choose your frame rate. Once that's done and you press the export at the bottom, it should load, and then you should have your file. Anyways, that's it for the tutorial. Make sure you like and subscribe if you found it helpful. Make sure to also check out some of the Blender tutorials if you want to learn that as well. And yeah, bye.